Hey friends, He's risen, and your response is, He's risen indeed. Well, this is day 40 in our countdown to Easter, and we're so glad that you've been joining us in these devotional studies, these videos that have been going out. They've done a great job to help connect us to our community through social media. They have kept us connected as a church. They have kept us in the Word of God, and most importantly, they've connected us in relationship to God through Jesus Christ, who was crucified, dead, buried, and on this day, Easter Sunday morning, He rose again according to the Scriptures. Well, in Luke chapter 24, that was our devotional for today, and it reminds us that even those who were closest to Jesus, the Marys, as they head down to the tomb on that Easter Sunday morning, they went with sad hearts. They went expecting to find Christ still dead, and they were going to tend to the tomb. But the stone had been rolled away and the tomb was empty, and now their minds were full of questions, wondering and doubting, and even full of fear. But the angel spoke to them and says, "Why look for the living amongst the dead?" And that's really what we need to ask ourselves today. In fact, there are many Christians, followers of Jesus, I think, that would gather together on a Sunday morning, or maybe spend time in their morning devotional times praying to God, and yet never expecting Him to show up in their daily situations, no matter how great, no matter how small. In fact, when we doubt the most, when we are in a time of fear, when we're wondering, as it tells us in the Scriptures that Mary was, God might send even a messenger. An angel came and said, "He's risen, just as He said." Well, when she heard these words, the Bible tells us that then she remembered what God had said. Well, friends, we would be wise to remember what God says, and we can turn to His Word to find that truth for living our lives victorious each and every day. You see, the fact is, we've wrapped up our 40 days of devotions leading up to Easter, but it's not the conclusion, it's really just the beginning. You see, the reality of the resurrection ought to make a difference in our lives, and when Jesus Christ makes a difference in our lives, we can make a difference in this world. There were 500 witnesses in addition to Mary and the other gals who gathered at the tomb. The disciples who saw Jesus living, resurrected, alive, and they were willing to give of their lives to tell this story so that the good news, the gospel message, might be heard throughout the generations. Do you know, today, just as Mary needed an encouraging word from the angels, we become God's messengers to carry on the good news that Jesus Christ is alive. Well, my prayer is that today and every day that you would be able to echo to that statement, "He is risen," that you'd be able to say, "He is risen in me." May you have a great day in Jesus as we celebrate the fact that He is alive. Amen.